don't whisper in my ear like that again, nigga, or come in my ear like that. Don't ever do that ever again. Don't disrespect me like that, nigga. That shit was horrible. Yes, sir. ODMODUBLVCK. Yeah. ODMODUBLVCK.
He finally got it.
He's him. I didn't think they would make a good song together. I ain't gonna lie.
Who's on this with him?
Fireboy.
I feel like he's kind of like Blast, bro. You put that shit on everything, bro. He's fire, bro.
He's him. Wait. Here's the hook.
Ooh.
Want me to? But that song has crack in it. Welcome to episode. This is 13, right? Or is this 12? It's 13. 13. Episode 13 of the Rhythm and Rhymes podcast. I'm your host, AJ Hughes. I'm here with my brother, Antonio Hughes, my co-host, Antonio Hughes.
Yes, sir.
How you been? What's been going on, bro?
I'm pretty good. Really just working. Went to Summer Smash last Saturday. That was a vibe. Having some post-festival depression. That's normal, though. Yeah, but I just been doing that. I had a job interview this morning. It was like for a remote job, little customer service thing, paid well. So hopefully that works out. But yeah, that's what I really been up to. Edited for the Hyde Park Music Festival. That's coming.
How did that go?
Soon. Real good. I pretty much finished, but he said that he low-key wanted more videos of him in there, like the guy who ran it, and I was kind of just like, isn't it about the festival? But I kind of understand because I think he's doing another. I think another person's doing another wrap up for him. But it was good. It was honestly cool too to see some of the performances on video, like seeing 2 Chainz and even clips. Like I didn't even really know they still performed together, and they were there. And then obviously Uncle Waffle's set was real crazy on there. So honestly wish I would have known about the festival. I probably would have gone at least Saturday. Saturday was a good day.
Auntie did mention it. I feel like she asked us if we were busy, right? Or something like that. I think she might have texted us or something. I feel like I got a text, but she didn't ask me if I was busy, but I feel like she said something in a group chat. But yeah. she might have just missed it. But the clips are back outside. They performed on that. They had a song on the Nego project. Do you remember that?
Yeah, that song was real good too.
Yeah, and then and then the song that he dissed Pusha T on in the LV show, Malice was on that one too. So that was a clip song produced by Pharrell, and they're supposed to have an album coming out pretty soon. So I guess he back outside. He had became a pastor allegedly. Malice.
Yeah,
he had just
I heard
his life to the Lord.
I heard this story that like I think it was something with they either got arrested or got in some type of shootout or something, and then he just decided right after that he just wasn't gonna make rap music. He was gonna commit to the Lord, like you said. But yeah, yeah. Also, though, Jim Jones needs to leave Pusha T alone because he cannot mess with him. That's just I
think I'm curious to see where it goes though, honestly, because I think Jim fell for the bait. I think he fell for the bait. He fell for the bait because he did that to see what Jim had. He didn't put the song out. He put that little thing out knowing the clips were gonna go viral and Jim was gonna hear it. He took the beat, rapped over it, and he basically, I don't want to say he gave him, it doesn't seem like it was strategic. He was like, I just gotta go at him now. And now you showing your hand. So I think he's like, oh, that's it. And he about to come back with some fire, boy.
Yeah, he definitely could have waited a little bit, at least let Push drop the record. Because, I mean, like you said, all he did was put out the clip. And, I mean, he could have sat there really getting surgical and trying to really dissect it and really get into this guy that you're about to have to really battle.
Pause.
And Okay, my bad. Pause. Pause. My bad. But Pusha T is super surgical when it comes to um how he goes at people. And you're making me think about it now. He's super like calculated when he does disses and diss tracks and when he gets in these battles with other rappers. So I think he should have took some more time because Pusha T is not the guy to play with, in my opinion.
I agree. So lyrical, Summer Smash, Lyrical Lemonade. You saw Future Hendrix, bro. I'm kind of jealous.
Dude, and the thing is, I wanted to start with Future because I went in there real stupid, acting like Future did not have as many hits as he had. Not even didn't have, but I forgot about how many he had because he started off playing. I think he played one or two songs from the most recent album, "I Never Liked You." That was real fire. Like he started off with 712, and then he played.
That's a crazy ass. Sorry, that's a crazy ass name. I Never Liked You. But keep
insane title, bro. And
yeah.
Album was fire to match. And he came out to that. He played Bugatti. He played New Level. Two songs I was really not expecting him to play. And it really reminded me how many hits he had won and just how good his stage presence is. Like, I feel like compared to some of the other rappers, he wasn't sitting there just dancing around with the crowd. He was sitting there like rapping every bar. And from Future, I don't know. I guess I wasn't expecting that. He just doesn't seem like that type of rapper for me. You over here talking about drinking, smoking, I'm on my lead, whatever. Like, I'm thinking you gonna come out there chill, not really doing nothing. But he was hyped. Like after Uzi, I thought it was gonna be more of a chiller set. He was gonna come out with more like low key music, but that's not what he did. He came out firing. And then I got to see G Herbo as well. G Herbo is always good in Chicago. I feel like every time he's in the city, people show out for him. Like,
had you seen him before that, or that was your first time?
I saw him at Lala 2 years ago, and it was definitely different because I got to hear some of the newer songs. And he brought out this artist. I don't even remember her name. I'm not gonna lie, but she was real good. I'm gonna try to find her. I think she was probably somebody he signed, but she was real good. Kind of same thing. But one person I did not expect to see that I didn't know was gonna be there was Juicy J. He also had
shut the fuck up.
So many hits, bro. There was so many times where he stopped and he was sitting there performing in a straight jacket, bro. In a straight jacket, like no bullshit. And he came out with the mic. He was like, "I'm the first rapper ever to perform in a straight jacket. Okay, let's go." And then he dropped "Get High." I was like, "Yo, this is absolutely nuts, bro." But he was crazy. And then I think I'm gonna just leave Uzi as last. Like that was probably one of my favorite concerts I've ever been to. Like, I'll personally,
really,
since
bro, fuck, bro. Sorry, go.
Nah, it had to be, bro. Like, his stage presence is crazy. You know, his security hates him because he's gonna jump in the crowd. I don't know if you saw the video of him like swanton diving, bro. He did like a Jeff Hardy swanton dive in the crowd, and then he got the crowd. He was in there, hey, and then bro, it was just nuts. It was nuts, and he really feels like one of those people, along with like I'd probably say like a Yachty and people like that, who are like really like king of the youth for me. Like the kids that are like, I would say 21 down, like they love Uzi and they always have, always will. And I really don't think anybody's going to take him off that throne for a while. Like, it doesn't matter what state he's in, where he is, his music goes. Like, and him and Future just have real good music for concerts. But yeah, that's probably how I want to end it.
I want to get more into Uzi in a little bit. Pause. But I also wanted, you telling me he jumped into the crowd reminded me of Ashake. I seen a video probably like an hour ago where at Afro Nation, I don't know which one that was. That one might have been Portugal. I don't know. They got a bunch of them going on. But he jumped into the crowd at the end, and the video looks crazy. It was lit. And I was like, dang, that would have been dope to have been in that part. I want to go to the next. I can't go to Detroit, but whatever Afro Nation is after that, maybe Afro Nation Nigeria, low key, because they're supposed to be in Nigeria in December, and that's when I'm trying to go. So I might try and fuck around and go then. But bro, I love festivals so much. Just hearing you talk about it, I'm like, damn. I still need to see Uzi so bad. I haven't seen Uzi.
Yeah, I got a couple artists I really still need to see out of the festivals. Like I'm real excited because Lala, I didn't know that Yachty was gonna be there, and then I'm really excited to see A Boogie too. Like that's another one that I'm definitely
I
ready
think
for.
Rema is supposed to be there too, if I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken.
I
I think so.
yeah the Rem. I think Rema's on Friday. I think I'm not sure, but I will be front row, so you'll see
Rema.
that.
Travis Scott was spotted in Africa recording a music video with Rema. Like I didn't tell y'all niggas. What was you talking about? But yeah, I'm excited for what they got coming, bro. I feel like they got a lot.
They definitely
I feel
do.
like, yeah, they got something coming, bro, and I'm hyped. But new music. Did you listen to the Pink Tape?
I did listen to the Pink Tape. I personally, I haven't really been a fan of the new rock, heavy metal wave into rap, like integrating into rap. It's just not my thing. I would say like there's some songs where I really like it. I feel like DC the Don. I talked about him last week. He does it really well. That's a person I don't really like. It hits my ear right when I hear it, but I feel like the second half of the album, like he was going nuts. Like from I Gotta down, there was like no misses on it. Besides probably that Nicki Minaj song, which
You didn't like it?
yeah, I just don't. Nah, that wasn't my
I
thing.
didn't make it through that side of the album, but
You should, if you want to like appreciate it. I would say the second half was better. Like if I was him, honestly, I would have dropped the second half because it really didn't sound much like the first half. I would have dropped the second half as like a first album, and then how he did like the Eternal Take Part 2 thing, like how he
the
did that. I would have,
deluxe.
yeah, I would have dropped it as a deluxe because you don't really. I feel like a lot of people had that opinion. Like it was just like it's not bad, but it's not what you wanted from Uzi, I guess.
Yeah,
And yeah,
that listening to it, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't make it through like 4 songs. I didn't make it. I got the first song, the intro. I know Uzi can rap, and the intro he was kind of going crazy. So I fucked with the intro, which was cool. But everything after that, I'm like, yeah, this ain't me. But it had me thinking about just Uzi in general, bro. Like I feel like the state of hip hop. I don't know. I think we might have talked about this on an older episode, like who's the big 3 or who's the 3 at the top. And I feel like it was Jack Harlow, Lil Uzi. Those 2 names, I don't know who the other names would be, but those 2 names for me, like where hip hop is at, that's what I'm like, Lil Uzi's been the influence of a lot of this, most of this, him and Cardi. And I was like, I have to give him props and I respect it because like he puts out hits and he's dictating where music's going. So he's obviously like important to this thing. I just didn't particularly like this project and it wasn't for me, but I was like, it's crazy to think about like where the sound is at and how much influence he had. And if you go through, I know initially, I think the second or third song, there was a couple songs where he sounded like Chief Keef on that bitch, and I was this is a evident and clear like influence, even though he said it in the past that Chief Keef influenced him a lot. But it just had me thinking. I don't know. It just has me thinking about who's influencing who, and how like Chief Keef is responsible. Chief Keef is all these niggas' fathers, all of them.
yeah. And I feel like Cardi is all these like the current niggas, their fathers too, because sorry. I feel like Whole Lot of Red was like almost like one of the kickstarters of this wave of rap. And I'm kind of ready to say it's almost a classic album just because of the fact that the amount of influence it had on the current generation of rap. If you go listen to a lot of what people are doing, like Yeet, like I said, DC the Don, this Uzi project, Ken Carson, Destroy Lonely, like a lot of the newer guys that are getting really big are trying to make Whole Lot of Red, in my opinion. Like they're just making worse versions of it. I never feel like I don't feel like there isn't going to be a better album than a Whole Lot of Red from that
You
genre.
liked Whole Lot of Red?
And not at first, and that's the thing. When I was sitting there listening to the Uzi project, I was sitting there like everybody is trying to do this. Like everybody is trying. He did it. I feel like now I definitely appreciate it a lot more than I did before. Like it's for where rap music is at right now in the US, I feel like that album just kind of reflects it. Like it really is what is going on. I feel like everybody's making super hard rock metal beats. Like that's really a big thing right now. So I feel like
It's
that's
so
just how I
interesting.
feel about it.
It's so weird where hip hop is at right now. It's like I see the progression of how you get from Chief Keef to Yeet, I guess. Like fine. But why? I don't get it. I don't get it. So like um this week I had a post get picked up by Hot Freestyle of me talking about UK rap versus US rap. And I think I have a lot to say on the subject, but it just had me thinking like it's not like I didn't like American rap. It was more like I was forced to look elsewhere for the things that I was looking for in hip hop because we're not doing it here. And it just had me thinking like, does this have something to do with the natural progression of music where it's like before how we had sort of like blue like the rock and roll era and then it got popularized in America and now it's like it became like this punk thing. Is that why? Is this just what happens in America? Or is this just where we're at right now? I don't see like I don't know how you get from this back to real bars. I don't see it happening. So it's like, where are we?
I think also like I keep talking about TikTok, but I feel like TikTok really changed it too because everybody's trying to make stuff that'll fit well on there and that'll get picked up and go viral. And that's the bigger thing with music now. I feel like it's used as a way to go viral and to get big in a way. So I feel like people
Yeah.
aren't really sitting there taking as much time with their music and like being intentional with what they make. I feel like it's a lot of just hopping on rock beats. Like I don't feel like it's a lot of effort, to be honest.
Yeah. That I think a big part of it is the production. Um I think the best producers in the world aren't on this continent anymore. Wait, I won't say that. The people making the best music right now, production wise, producer wise, it's not here. I think that's another thing. It's very electronic, very there's not a lot of musicality to the beats, I feel like.
Yeah.
And that sort of force, I mean, when artists go to record something, I imagine that influences how they make the music, is what they're hearing. So that could be part of it too. I think it's a lot of factors at play, but I think musically, there's a lot of producers in other places doing a lot more creative things than here.
Yeah. I always feel like the Afro beats especially, it the beats are always what intrigue me first. And I feel like with rap, when I started like in rap, that's what would draw me in because I'm just a music guy. Like I played sax, I played guitar, I listened for stuff like that. And when you have like real instruments, a live band, stuff like that, or just putting more time into like what you're doing with the beats and making beats with like all that stuff, like you hear it more in like Afro beats and reggaeton now than you do in rap for sure. For sure.
So I guess before we move on to these next new music topics, I would ask you like, what would you like to hear more of in music, in hip hop? I'll start and then I'll go to you. I would say for me, something that I didn't know I wanted more of is R&B and soul sampling from the early 2000s. Foggy Raw, you know who that is,
Yeah.
right? That Alicia Keys record is so crazy. I love that song so much, and I have been thinking about that for the longest time. Like the moments early in my life that got me like really like that really drew me into music were like Alicia Keys Fallen, Ordinary People, John Legend, You Don't Know My Name, Alicia Keys, like stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like that era of R&B. And then when you go on to think about like some of our best music, like Kanye West built his name off soul samples. And it just had me realizing like we don't really, it feels like the samples we're going back for and that are being circulated are like, we're not, I don't know. It's like whoever's picking them is just trying to catch a quick one. Like, bro, that Lola Brooke grinding shit I seen the other day.
I
What
didn't
the
even
fuck?
listen to it yet.
Bro, what the fuck? What the fuck? But I would say I would want to see more R&B and soul sampling if producers could get into that because I think that musicality brings something out of rappers. Like you just look back, it just does wonders for whoever's on the mic.
Right. I agree with that for sure. I think when the people who have been making rap right now have used R&B and soul samples in the correct way, I feel like it always sounds good. It's like a cheat code. But I would personally say I just want maybe like a change of content and some creativity. Like I feel like you hear a lot of the same things over and over in the raps in rap songs right now, and it's a lot of the same types of beats and a lot of this. It's just a lot of the same stuff. Like I feel like you don't get to hear like somebody's different take on their own creative spin on rap or their own creative spin on a beat. Like I just feel like there's not much creativity anymore, and it's just kind of like cookie cutter, and then everybody's gonna make this type of song. Like I feel like it's kind of like that, and I think that's what I'd say: creativity and like a change of content. Maybe I just need to change what I'm listening to. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe I think sometimes because of the media platforms, it makes it seem like there's only X amount of artists doing things, but there's way more. I think because the field is so big now that like before it's like X amount of artists were signed to a label, so this is all you really heard about. But now with the fact that you can just be independent and put it out, it's like there's 100 times as many artists. So how those initial 10 artists might have all the listens initially, now you spread that out over like 10,000 artists. It's like impossible to keep up with everything. That's awesome. You know what I mean?
Right.
But let's get into the rest of this new music. Spinall, he dropped the DJ from his name. So he's no longer DJ Spinall, I guess. But Spinall dropped a single, Loju with WIZKID. That one's definitely a vibe. Let me see if I downloaded that one for you or if I left that one. You gotta listen to it on your own. But it's fire for sure. I think Spinall, Blaze Beats helped produce it. Shout out to him. He does a lot of Ashake stuff with Magic Sticks, but this one's a vibe, bro. This is definitely a party record. You're going to hear it out. WizKid keep a feature, bro. WizKid will give you a feature. He's put out like 4 or 5 of them over the last 2 months, and everyone is a vibe. Everyone is making it to my playlist. So if you're into WizKid, definitely go check that record out. Did you hear that one at all or not?
Yeah, I liked it. I honestly, I think DJ Spinall is one of my favorite Afrobeats producers. He's nuts. Like, he has a lot of stuff.
He's him, bro. That album is still in rotation for me. It wasn't that much new music I was excited to get into this week, honestly. TAINY, Data. Did you listen to that? You listened to the album?
I got about 6 songs in. I switched to the pink tape just because I wanted to hear it, but I liked it. Like, it sounded good so far. I really liked that Bad Bunny song. It reminded me of Save Your Tears by The Weeknd, if you know that song.
Which one? Which Bad Bunny song?
It was the first one that was on the album with him and TAINY. What was it called?
Was it not the record with everybody on it, right? There was a.
It was called. Hold on, I have it pulled up.
Oh, Mojave Baby.
Mojave Ghost, but
Mojave Ghost.
Yeah,
I want when you get off, go listen to that song. Actually, no, listen to When Doves Cry by Prince, and then listen to that song.
That's what it reminded you of.
The beat, like you go listen to them, they're like damn near the same, bro. The drums.
Okay, let me raise you one. When you get off, go listen to "Save Your Tears" by The Weeknd, and tell me if it reminds you of it too, because I feel like it had kind of the same vibe. But that might just be.
They all might. I don't even know that song. I have to go check it out.
You've probably heard it somewhere just because that Weeknd album was damn near diamond, so you probably heard it in like H&M or something.
I'm gonna listen to it really quick. Give me 10 seconds.
Okay. I saw you dancing in a clouded room. Save your tears for another day. Save your Tears for another day. Hey, if we gonna bring back hitting the folks, let's bring back Nene into. I'll be hitting that motherfucker.
Thank you. Hey, shout out DJ Nate. DJ Nate asked me to come to Rum and Jerk and show people how to hit them folks. So shout out you, bro. I'll be there.
That's hilarious.
I'll be there. Yeah, he swiped up on my story.
You go teach hit the folks class at Rum and Jerk. That's crazy.
100%. They was teaching people how to drift when I went last time. But I do hear what you're saying. But I think that one has, I don't know, it's like that one's closed, but it sounds closer to When Doves Cry.
I'll check it out.
So when you get a chance, yeah. But oh, you got your phone right now? You about to go sit right now?
No.
Can you?
Oh,
okay.
You want me?
Okay. You don't have to. I just thought you were pulling it out. It's fine though.
Oh,
Pause.
Yo, this is crazy.
Next song, FIREGUN by ODMODUBLVCK. That's how you say his name. ODMODUBLVCK.
He finally got it.
Featuring, I heard him say it. I went and watched. He actually, this is actually interesting because you might want to go check it out, but it might be hard for you to listen to, honestly. But Joe Boy has a podcast now called the Body and Soul Podcast, which was the name of his last album. And he interviewed he needs a nickname, ODMODUBLVCK. He interviewed him. And I just started watching it. I went there to see how he said his name, but I'm gonna watch the whole interview when I get off of this. But that song is fire. I think every single, and this rarely happens with an artist, every time they release a new song, it's fire. It's a slap. You know what I'm saying? Every time there's a new verse by him, it's a slap, right? First was Declan Rice, and then he was on that song with Joe Boy, Normally, and then he did another song that I liked. Dang, I forget. Let me go. There's a list of them, but it doesn't happen for me with artists, honestly, where it's like every time they come out, it's fire. So I'm interested to see when his next project is. I'm probably gonna have to go back in his older stuff, but FIREGUN with Fireboy DML is heat. I love that song.
I haven't been able to tune into that yet, but I would say that's probably just the constant progression of just getting better, just putting up shots, basically. Like if you're sitting there working on it every day, you putting out new songs, you getting the reception and seeing what people are saying about it, you can make critiques to where it'll hit the ear better every single time you come on. Or maybe it's just the fact that he was working with different producers on each one. I don't know if he was, but that might be, maybe you just like the producing style that's coming up.
Maybe. Oh, it was No Option with Boj.
I remember that one.
Yeah, he was on that one too. But yeah, go check out FIREGUN by ODMODUBLVCK and Fireboy DML. I had 2 music business topics I wanted to get into, and then I wanted to talk more broader on what we're doing here for a little while. If you're cool with that. But first, African music streaming service Moon. When they do the M and then another letter, I don't know how it's pronounced, but it's MDUNDO. Forecast 35% growth in monthly active users for the upcoming fiscal year. I thought this was very interesting because I think we're all in our own little silos in the countries we're in. I think it'd be interesting to hear about this. In guidance released last Thursday, the streaming service said that it expects to hit 35 million in monthly active listeners in the fiscal year of 2023 to 2024, beginning July 1st. This would mark an increase of 9 million users from the 26 million they had from the previous year. So the country was started in Kenya in 2013. It's headquartered in Denmark, and they have users in 15 sub-Saharan African countries, including Nigeria, Kenya, Tanzania, Ghana, and South Africa being its key markets. Those 5 countries have a population of 422 million people and offer substantial growth opportunities due to high internet penetration rates and robust economic developments. So on here, I've talked about previously how the biggest growing market for a lot of things over the next 10 years is going to be Africa, partially because of the internet penetration rates. That's what the figure is called. But how many of these areas have high speed internet in volume where like anybody, most people in America have access to internet if they want it or they can go get it. You know what I'm saying? There, they don't even have internet providers in a lot of different African countries, but the markets that I listed earlier do. So, with keeping that in mind, I think it's like it is the new frontier of music in that way, where it's like if you're betting on any what do they call it when you're in stocks and you like a blue chip stock or like a penny stock or whatever, like when it's
Yeah.
real cheap and then
Yeah.
those are the like in my head, those are the places where if I'm a business looking to grow in streaming, if I'm a label and if I'm a label looking for artists who have potential to grow in different markets like that, these are places to check. You know what I'm saying? 422 million people in those 5 markets is more than America. That's more than there's more. That's more people than there are in America, right? And so to think that they're only mainly in 15 sub-Saharan African countries. There's 54 countries in Africa, right? And if you're able to corner markets or have large markets in Nigeria and South Africa, like it's only a matter of time before the countries around it end up following. So I thought that was an interesting little tidbit that I read online the other day.
Yeah, I think with with time it'll keep growing for sure, just because they didn't have that access before, and now the internet just opens up so many things for so many people. And I think that's going to also lead to like a lot of job creation and a lot of just economic growth over the next couple of years for Africa, just because. And I don't think they're going to be in that like that quote unquote third world country. I don't think it's going to be like that for much longer. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. I think a lot of the issues surrounding Africa can be resolved potentially, and
Yeah.
their problem. Um, I was talking to one of my teammates or my coworkers the other day, and we were just talking about like what we were doing at work, and I remembered the whole reason I got into marketing because I feel like it was the lowest hanging fruit to attempt to help black businesses because I feel like one of the biggest things, at least here, was economic empowerment. It's like we don't have those things. You know what I'm saying? Like things are getting better in every area, but that and that is the root of a lot of issues. So those issues are not just for me American based, right? Like I just look at them as black issues, and those are the problems I'm interested in spending a lot of time on or solving. So when I see stuff like this, it always catches my eye because it just brings up so many ideas and sparks so many synapses in my head where it's like, what could this mean? You know?
Yeah.
But we'll keep our eye on Africa, you know. Hopefully I'm there in December. We'll figure that out. But the next one, Ripple. TikTok parents new AI powered music making app that can turn a hummed melody into a song. Um let's see.
That is nuts.
Yeah. ByteDance wants aspiring creators to make the music for their short form videos to make music for their short form videos using an app it built itself, and it even developed and trained a model for them to get started. Um, MBW, which is Music Business Worldwide, told you last month that TikTok's parent company was working on an AI music app that significantly lowers the music creation barrier after we spotted a pair of job ads for experts in the space. Um, the app has 2 key features: a melody to song generator and a virtual recording studio. The melody of the song feature lets users sing or hum a melody directly into the app, and then will expand the melody by generating an instrumental accompaniment in variation of different genres. This goes on, but I think this is interesting because a lot of issues and opportunities arise from this. But initial thoughts, what did you think of this?
I think I'm more so. I don't know. I don't know what I feel about it. I feel like if it's used in the right way, it could make music creation faster. It could just speed up the process. But I feel like the process is really important in music, and I feel like by adding this in, it's kind of taking away that real musicality and real, like, I don't know. I just don't feel the best about this. I feel like it kind of just, it's lazy to me. Like, if you're a musician, make real music, in my opinion.
I think I see what you're saying. I agree with you to an extent. I think that there was I read something a little while ago that said since like video has become such a prominent part of our lives, music has reached this like this delta of music as art and music as content, right? And they have some overlap, but there are two clear branches as to where it's going, right? And so like when I read something like this, I think about like, bro, how many times have we uploaded videos and them shits get taken down for copyright?
Way
Like a
too
couple.
many.
Right, right. And so I think about like how many times like music could accompany a video and add to it, and Universal like, nah, nigga, give me that shit. And so to somebody who, and so for me, I sort of just like, I'm not focused on like the music isn't the message is what I'm trying to say. So I don't really think about that too much, but there are people and creators out there who need music to go with their content. And so I think this provides an opportunity for them to get rid of that barrier, like of trying to assist their content. And on the other hand, I think about like, I think it was Steve Lacy that said he made his album on his phone. You know what I'm saying? Like the entire album. And so if this app lowers that barrier for younger kids or some people who aren't as tech savvy to make music, because it like it's just, you know what I mean? There's so many ways to make music and we get like good music from it, then I'm behind it. You know what I mean? I don't think this takes away from musicians doing it as art. I think this could potentially, some problems could arise from it, but I don't think it's going to like attack that side of it. So I think that's interesting. And from a business aspect, I think TikTok does this because TikTok is one of the one thing I noticed about them in the news. It seems like they're very agile when trying to address issues within the platform or make changes and stuff like that. And one of the biggest, like one of their biggest partners is the music labels, right? They own the rights to all the songs. And so basically you have to pay them out based on streaming and based on how many times stuff is viewed and stuff like that. And if you can take 10, 15, 20% of the music that you're getting from Universal or from Warner or from Sony and have creators just generate some instrumentals to go behind it, like you're cutting your costs in that way. So from a business aspect, I think it's really smart. But I think this does bring off a lot of different branches that could potentially create issues in the future. But who knows? We'll see. I just thought it was an interesting title though, for sure.
I think after you explain that, I definitely see the positive in like giving access to people who aren't as tech savvy or aren't as probably, I don't even want to say musically inclined, but people who maybe don't make beats or something like that. It could definitely help there, and then I think it'll definitely help with the copyright too. Like, I think that's a real
Yeah.
big problem in music, especially right now with all the sampling people are doing. Not that it wasn't like that before, but copyright wasn't as much of a thing that they cracked down on. So I think it'll probably be positive. There's some negatives to everything, but I think the way you explained it definitely made me feel like it could be positive for a lot of people.
Yeah, business is interesting, bro, because you'll see somebody become a player or somebody make a move that affects the rest of the market in a way that you weren't even expecting. Like I don't think when we start like I heard somebody talking about TikTok a couple weeks ago and they're like, "Yo, we just had our like kids were just dancing on there at first. It was just kids dancing and now look where it's at." Like that's insane. You know what I mean? I think the power of social media and TikTok accelerated it is so interesting to me, right? Like that I remember coming home last night and seeing that Hot Freestyle had posted my stuff, and I was like, nah, they ain't post. Like this is just so random. And then I started going through it, and I'm like, bro, this tweet has 2 likes, and one of those likes was Ryan. You know what I'm saying? Like it was random. And I'm like, it's so crazy that you have the power to put something out and millions of people could potentially see it, even not via you, via somebody else. You know what I mean? And I think leaving this topic and going into what I wanted to wrap with today, it really had me thinking about like proof of work, putting stuff out, and really what I wanted to do, like what I'm trying to do here, like what my goals are. You know what I'm saying? Like why are we doing this?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I was thinking about that a lot. And I wanted to get your perspective on it and just hear, like with rhythm and rhymes and what I'm building here. I know I have ideas of what I want to do, and I've shared a lot of that with you, I feel like. But what do you what would you like to get out of this? You know what I mean? I think when I think about that, I think about like not just like if it's you want to get paid or if you want to be able to do certain things or you want to like get better at video editing, like whatever it is, or the fact that you just enjoy it, like what would you like to get out of this?
I think that honestly, I really enjoy just sharing what I hear musically. Like I feel like I've always had a pretty unique taste in music. Like I feel like I'm pretty not far out, but I like weird stuff sometimes when it comes to music, and I always think it's fire, and I've always wanted to have like a platform to share that. And also, like at the end of the day, I want to work with artists like in any way possible. I don't know how that is yet. Like originally, I really wanted to do like videos and tour shoots and stuff like that for artists, but I the more I think about it, the more I would want to do whole festivals, stuff like that. Like I want this to really be like a brand. Like I want this to be a big thing in the next. No, I wouldn't even say 5 to 10. In the next 1 to 3, but yeah, I don't know. I'm still kind of thinking about it. I guess I could say I don't exactly know everything I want out of it, but I would definitely say being able to work with the artists that I love and then just share the music that I love.
That's dope. I agree with that. I think um I think the same thing. I think it all started because, and I think that's most important, honestly, because it doesn't make any sense to do this if you don't really enjoy music. You don't really love music. It's like it's more of a job, and like this thing is so attempting to build something like we're trying to build. If you just kind of like music and not really like if you just kind of like it, it's not really gonna build into the thing that you want it because it takes so much effort. You know what I'm saying? Like if you don't love music, it's like what's the point? And I think about that a lot. And I think bigger than that personally for me though, um I'm very I don't like saying pro black. I heard Dr. Umar talking about the term pro
I heard
black.
that.
I don't know if you saw that.
I did.
And I
Yeah.
thought that was so interesting because that like I thought that was so interesting, but I'll use it for the sake of the listeners, right? I'm very pro black in that way. And I think one of the easiest mediums to connect black people is music across all genres, across all languages, across all cultures, ethnic, all of that to connect back black people. I feel like music is one of the best mediums to do so. And so bigger than the fact that I love it, I feel like it has the potential to create spaces and environments and connections between us that could eventually branch off into other things, right? Like when I look at a Jay-Z or a Diddy or those like people who moved culture in that way, like they started in one avenue. Like Rock Nation is not just a music brand, but this all stemmed from him rapping, you know what I'm saying? Like him enjoying music. And I guess I just see it as a way to connect people. I love storytelling. I think that's something that I'm really getting into more and more each day. And I think I have a unique ability to do that. I think I'm good with my words, and I've heard that for a long time. And I think I want to use that to help teach and help learn personally more than that, learn. You know what I'm saying? I feel like with this channel, a lot of the videos that I made where I feel like I was giving out the most information was on the topics that I learned the most, right? Like I went and learned something, and then I came back and like reiterated it and gave it to the audience, and they liked it. You know what I mean? And that's when I'm thinking about the content that I'm making moving forward. I want to do more of that. I want to do more of like sharing information and like, you know what I mean, talking about like how we went to Jamaica and we saw them playing the steel drum, bro. That hit different after knowing the history behind the steel drum. You know what I'm saying? I just
Right.
happened. It was so crazy that we got to see them live there doing it, and knowing that this was, we only created the steel drum because of colonialism banning African percussive instruments on the island of Trinidad. That's the only reason we get steel drums. And so like to know our culture is like that intertwined with just that instrument. It's crazy, you know what I mean? And I think um I'm going to be creating a lot of educational video content based in the Black Atlantic theory. Um I'm going to go, I have that video up on our YouTube page if you want to go watch it, where I'm talking about how Paul Gilroy, who's a scholar, and I want to talk to more people like him. I was thinking about that too. I think in terms of guests, it don't even have to be like music journalists or artists necessarily for me too. I think talking to people like that and finding a way to find
Black historians.
educational yeah, like it was like his history is interesting too, you know what I mean? And like that theory is like, I think a main principle of what we're trying to do is just connect Black people. And I think like if you get even more micro with just the show, yesterday I was hearing that the actors might go on strike soon, right? Just like the writers are on strike. The writers are on strike right now. And so
That would
what's being said by a lot of people is that what's going to end up happening is at the top of 2024, because the stuff that's on TV right now is stuff that was already filmed and edited and put out before the strike, right? But there's a bunch of networks going under, and by top of 2024, we're not going to have TV. We're not going to have TV shows. Like nobody's going to be making new stuff because the writers and the actors are on strike. So an interesting idea floating around between creators and stuff like that is that a lot of these networks are going to be looking for content to put in their pipelines, right? They're going to be looking for stuff. And so you think about a late night talk show like a Jimmy Kimmel, like what's the difference between that? There's obviously a difference between that and Joe Rogan, but they're both talk shows. There is no difference. So you can literally syndicate it in there. And I think with this show, if we can like really turn it up, like 1% better every week, get better, like I see opportunities for us like being able to like, you know, partner up with brands to get the message out there initially, or you know what I mean? I'm not hell bent on doing that. Like, because if we can build it on our own, fuck everybody else. I don't really want to be told what to do. I don't really want to be
right.
told what to
No,
do in
I
reality.
hear
But
you.
if it makes sense, you know what I'm saying? Like, like I think about like some of the stuff I do in terms of like the music history stuff. Like, think about like maybe not the History Channel, but think about the stuff you would see on the Travel Channel or the History Channel. You know what I'm saying? Like the concepts I have in my head for how to tell out of these stories. It's like if I can tell them well enough on YouTube that somebody's like, damn, like this is already a show. Like imagine if we could just plug that into Revolt. You know what I'm saying? Like do partnership or something like that, something crazy. And so while I think I enjoy doing this, I think for me now it's about like really being intentional about what I'm doing in terms of the content I'm putting out and really trying to get better. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes I feel like I'm texting you a lot with edits and things that I'm like nitpicking about. And sometimes I'm like, dang, I know he's just trying to edit this and get through it. But I'm really trying to like I want this to be really good. You know what I'm saying? Like I really want to push this thing. And so if that's, I think I more wanted to explain that to you so you understand like why sometimes I'm hitting you a lot with like little things. It's like, you know what I'm saying? I want to take this to the next level. You know what I mean? I don't want this to just be fun. I want it to be something that could potentially be profitable.
Yeah.
And I think we have the capability to do that. I think the main thing with a lot of these places is that they don't understand the music. And that's the most important part. I think that's where we started. We just got to get everything around it.
Yeah. I had something I was about to say. Oh, Um, I honestly, it doesn't really bother me as much with the critiques and the edits anymore. Like I used to, I'm still kind of like that, but I'm quick to defend myself and just quick to jump to my own defense. But I saw that clip of Ty the Creator talking about just how much presentation matters. Like in your head, you might be sitting there thinking like, why does this matter? It's really not that serious. It's just about doing the thing. But people look at you a certain way based off of how you present yourself. Like they judge what they see. So it's important to be intentional with what we're doing and making sure that when people do see us, that it's in a good light. Like even with what that dude said on the Silk Sonic video, like after that, I started only doing videos with like script in front of me,
Oh
whatever.
yeah,
But yeah, but he that stuff that helps. Like it's definitely important to make sure what we're doing is like it looks good too. Like it has to. So yeah, and
yeah,
I think the only other thing I would say about like what I want out of it, like I've always wanted to add to the black economy. Like at the end of the day, like if that was through like that's one of the other reasons I started trading stocks and why I want to be a financial advisor. Like you're helping people who didn't have that access before. But yeah.
yeah. The black economy. I guess this is a good way to wrap. But the black economy, for me, is so interesting because I think the areas in which we excel the most, we own the least.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We own the least. Like I tell people all the time when I go to the hair store, and now they're getting. It's interesting now because the hair store up the street from me, there's like they have so many black women working in there, and the owner, he sits off in the corner where you can't see him. He or she sits off in the corner where you can't see them. You know what I'm saying? They wear masks and they almost don't look like they work there. And that's intentional. That's intentional, right? They want you to feel like, and because that was a thing for a little while where black people was going into these Asian hair stores and like, bro, it's all Asian people in there. We don't own it. And it's like, there's nothing wrong with that, but it's like we spend so much money with them. It's like, it would be nice for that money to circulate back to us, you know?
Yeah.
And I remember mom talking about how she was following somebody on Instagram who was starting a hair store. And the problem that they kept running into was when they were going to suppliers, all the suppliers were Asian. And the suppliers didn't want to sell to her because she was black. And so I'm thinking like, and I don't know if that makes any sense for me, but out of spite, I want to own a hair store or partially help people start a hair store, like black people. You know what I'm saying? Like out of spite in a way where it's like, bro, how, like, even I don't even want to say how dare you, but how dare you? It's like we spend so much money with y'all that, like, you know, I don't know. And so I think this, especially us being in music and entertainment, like this is where we thrive more than almost anyone, you know? And so I think that is what we're doing, added to the black economy. You know what I'm saying? If we figure out how to be smart about this and monetize this and make money off of this and like really do good work, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm really focused on writing and telling good stories. I I've been like sort of journaling for a while, but when you sent me those scripts and I went through them the other day, bro, like the process I go through in like editing like that is difficult, but it's rewarding. You know what I'm saying? Like I enjoy it at the end, but during it, like trying to take the words, piece them together, make it sound good. Like, does this make sense? Is this getting the message I'm trying to convey across? Like that, what I sent you probably took me half an hour, just that little part, you know what I'm saying? But I think it feels rewarding in that way for me because I think that's, if I have to like pinpoint a gift, that is my gift. It's just how I am with words. And so it made me realize like I have to do that consistently on here on Rhythm and Rhymes. You know what I'm saying? Like you go back, there are videos where I did that and they just took off. You know what I'm saying? The virality effect of people sharing it is because it was clearly conveyed. But that just, I don't know, a couple of things over the last week made me realize like, nah, I gotta lock in.
Right. Right. Just about working
But
on it every week, every day.
yeah, bro. Well, this was longer than I thought it was gonna be. I didn't have much to talk about, but we made it almost to an hour, bro.
That's crazy. I didn't even realize.
You have a song you want to end off on that you want to give the crowd?
Like a song of the week, or you was playing something?
Yeah, I'm gonna play a song. A song of the week.
Well, I was listening to "My Darling" by WIZKID all week. Like it wouldn't get out of my rotation, wouldn't get out of my head, stuck in my ear. So I would say go listen to that. "My Darling" by WIZKID.
Okay. I will.
Did I just freeze?
I want to say.
Oh shit.
Nah, I want to say. Bro, I've been on this On My Piano wave recently, y'all. And if you're not hip, you need to get hip, bro. On My Piano is kind of crazy, and I don't know what about it like makes it that entertaining for me, but I'm gonna give y'all this song and try and make it through the end, bro. On My Piano is an experience. It's not like a regular song where it's 2 minutes and you can skim through it. Like you have to go through the entire song to really feel it. Cause when the beat change, it's like that changes how you listen to it, like the listening experience. So I'm gonna say Suka by Kanisa, Tyler ICU. I keep seeing Tyler ICU. He's kind of popping into my feed a lot, but these songs have so many people on them. Tyler ICU, Nandifa 808, and Sika RSA. Sika RSA. But go listen to Suka. That song is crazy. Another artist I want to come in here and talk about next week, bro. This guy named Ninho. He's a French rapper. His album had Central C, Omale, Ira Star, and Central C, Ira Star, Omale, and it was somebody else on there. It was a weird Lil Baby. It was a weird lineup. It was a weird lineup of artists, and I was like, oh, okay, so he must be like that guy over there. But yeah, I'll just end with this song, bro. This song is crazy. Let's see. Or maybe it won't play. It might not play.
I'm pretty sure the On My Piano playlist on Spotify does not have a single Ashake song on it. I was looking at it yesterday and I did not see a single time where Ashake was on there. So whoever made that, clean it up, fix it.
Ashake, okay. I've been told by African correspondents that Ashake is not on my piano. The production is similar to what they do at On My Piano, but On My Piano is house music, and I don't know. It's the way it was explained to me makes sense, but it's technically not On My Piano. I'm not ending with a song this week, guys. Riverside is acting up. Colton, I'm on your ass, bro. Pause. You need to figure it out.
This is a
pausable
episode, bro.
Yeah, that might be the name of it. Do we start titling episodes, bro? I've been trying to wonder, like, I've been doing it for like SEO purposes, but maybe we start titling stuff. I don't know.
I think you should. You should, for sure.
That's the Rhythm and Rhymes podcast, guys. That's episode 13. It's surprising we've gotten this far. Can you hear that?
Yeah, it's working.
Oh, wait.
Okay. Hey.
Hey. All right, y'all. See y'all next week.